Welcome in, everyone. There was, of course, no Critical Role episode this week, but we wanted to do a video anyway, and we decided to do a character tier list. Now, hold on. Now, just hear me out real quick. Let me lay down the groundwork for exactly why we decided to do this and what this is going to be before you come into the comments with, your opinions on wherever it is that we put your favorite character. All right? First of all, we love all these characters. They're great. They're only going to get better as time goes on. And so the way that we're looking at this, and obviously some characters have had more time to evolve and grow than other ones have. So we're just kind of looking at these as characters, what we've seen of them so far, how they fit into the party, what their stories are so far, and then just rating them, personally on a sort of, a D through S scale that we have. And why I think this is going to be fun, too, is because we can then come back later on and kind of do these again or do a little bit of like a look back and see if our opinions and thoughts have changed. Because, the first time that I ever saw Caduceus in the Mighty Nine, wasn't a big fan of him. And, by the end of just about every campaign, you love every character for a different reason. So, keep that in mind. Take this with a little bit of a grain of salt before you come for us with the pitchforks and the torches down in the comments. But please do let us know what you think as well. So where I'd like to start is with what I thought I would be putting, who I thought I'd be putting right at an S, just because they're an incredible performer and they've had a lot of great scenes. But the more that I thought about it, I think that it makes sense that they're a little bit more of an A. And that's Thimble. I think that obviously Laura is an amazing actress, brings a lot to the character, but I don't see right now where her story takes her after she gets revenge on Casimir. She's very sort of singularly focused right now, and while there is obviously ways she could go, I just don't know exactly what that is currently, what the overall narrative arc for her there is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could even put her at a B at this point.
Ooh, spicy.
Because we don't know where she fits in the, like, we know that she's an important character, but where does she fit in this bigger plot
Yeah.
of this political issues that are about to pop up? Obviously we know where she started, but we just don't know where she's going. And I
Yeah.
love Thimble. Like her moments are some of my favorites, and that's Laura. But if I was playing a campaign and anyone else was playing Thimble, I'd just be like, what's your end game?
I think that for me, what puts her a little bit higher and what puts her into an A is she does still have really, really good dynamics with like everybody else in the group, right? The way that she interacts with Tyranny, the way that she's interacting with Wick and Teayor and like even Cadigan, and then even the world around her, all the interactions that we got to see between her and the different fairies, I think really helps to cement her and make her feel like she's part of the world, but without revenge and without her connection to Casimir, because I think that she's been around him her entire life, right? The flashback we got when she comes out of the flower, I think that's essentially her being born, or she was just put into a flower like as a gift. I don't know. If you know exactly,
I think she was
something
born.
if someone knows what the specifics of that are from like a fireside chat or a behind the scenes somewhere, let us know. But I do think that she fits well in the world, and her story will probably be, who is she without Thiazi? But does that necessarily put her, how does that keep her in the narrative? Because, when she gets her revenge, she could technically head back to Hawthorne's Glade or something if she wanted and still explore that.
We don't think she will, but
No,
it
I don't
does
think
seem
so
like
either.
the revenge on Casimir is about to happen. So it's like, Thimble, who are you after that?
Yeah.
But we do love a who am I without you story.
Yeah. So,
But it's hard to see.
do you feel like an A is probably a good place for
We can
Laura?
compromise on A.
All right. Who do you want to look at next?
I think we should look at Teayor.
Teayor next.
Only
Oh
Teayor is
no.
Teayor.
Okay. What are your initial first thoughts on Teayor then?
Teayor left a good first impression, but I do think he's one of those characters that constantly falls into the background a lot, especially when you have characters like Thimble, Wicander, and
Hmm.
Tyranny in the same scene. So like he has some good, interesting moments, but he continues to fall into the background for me.
Yeah, I think Travis is doing a really good job being a supporting character at the moment. He's, obviously playing sort of in this group of misfits. He's very much like the straight man, right? Where the
Hmm.
sort of, I guess, a father figure almost in a way. That very sort of lawfully kind of paladin figure that keeps them on track.
Yeah, he's driving some of the plot right now with his
Yeah.
brother stuff.
See, now that's I think where I feel like we're missing something here is he has stakes in this, right? It's his brother that's in
Hmm.
trouble, but it feels like and I think that this is maybe more of like a player thing than it is a character thing where he's kind of, shrugging his sort of motivation off a little bit in favor of pushing the rest of this plot forward with Casimir. There was a really great moment in episode 7 when they realized, okay, Casimir's here. He's not going anywhere, but my brother's
Hmm.
in trouble. Where like there was a little bit of a fire in Teayor, like guys, no, we got to go save my brother. Casimir's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. We don't know where my brother's going to go. And I
Hmm.
wish I would have seen more of that throughout, like a little bit more concern, in that sort
I
of
don't know. I
that
think
kind of
he does,
energy.
though. I think he does. It just gets overshadowed.
Yeah, maybe that. I mean, that's possible, but I just wish there was a little bit more. And I think we'll again, plenty of time to see that.
Hmm.
But for now, for me right now, I could put Teayor in a C or a B because I think that there's a lot more for him to explore.
Let's put him in C for Sid.
Okay. Ooh, C for Sid. I like that. All right. Teayor, where are you down here? Oh, there you are.
I just would love to see more. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want
No,
to see
I
more from
agree. I,
Taylor.
I think that he's a really good team player as a character and as a player. And sometimes that dynamic comes from like, the good dynamics come from like butting heads a little bit, right? Like Thimble
Hmm.
does that with just about everybody. I think she's butt heads with everybody but Teayor at
Yeah,
this
can't
table.
wait to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's coming next episode.
Let's do Wicander.
All right.
Yeah. Where would you put Wicander just without thinking about it right off the top of your head?
Oh man. I want to put him at an S.
I understand why.
Yeah, I want to.
Here's why I wouldn't.
Well, where would you put him?
A or B for a different reason from Thimble, but I think there's one thing that he's missing out on right now, and that's that he hasn't really faced a whole lot of challenges. He hasn't, especially like when we think about where he's come from and how he's out in the world now,
Uh-huh.
he's been put in a lot of situations to be tested, and the light, the power, the plot, if you will, has helped him overcome those. And so while I think he's in the
I
process
could
of
argue. I could
grappling
argue that.
with stuff, well, he's in the process of grappling with those things. Even after every sort of major thing, he had a very like think about when he first had that moment when they were going to Hawthorne's Glade, where he rolled that great religion check and like they were being let in. He kind of went over to Tyranny and was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that worked. I just lied right to them. Oh, this isn't real." And she's
Yeah.
like, "But maybe it is." And so I feel like he's still just kind of like riding by the seat of his
Naive.
pants right now, right?
Yeah.
And we need a moment where Wick either truly questions his faith or his powers and where they come from and why him, or where he embraces it, not in a way that's like, oh, my power's doing its thing, but in a way where he's like, this I know this is the light now. Regardless of what
Mhm.
anybody else says, this is my thing, and what I've believed is real, and whatever it is that my family thinks it is, that's the fucked up shit.
Yeah, I think at the core, it's like, Wicander, what do you want out of this life that you're living? And I
Yeah.
know this is D&D and everything. They have a plot to go through, and he's gonna be a big part of this
Mm-hmm.
plot. But it's like, Wicander as a character, what do you want?
Yeah.
A lot of these other characters want their family. They want their family to be safe. Wicander does not have that right now. So it's like, do you want love? Do you want to like find a new faith? What does he really want?
I think that I think it's going to end up with him wanting. He's either going to end up saving his faith and like changing the way people perceive it and into what it's actually supposed to be, or he's going to end up like destroying it and like starting something new, like throwing away the
Yeah.
Candescent Creed name. And I think that right now he's still just relying on either other people or those lucky rolls.
Yeah.
And while I don't mean to say that everything that he's been through so far has been easy, and he's definitely come close to like the line a couple times, like these important roles, but I
Hmm.
don't know that Wicander has really been tested.
You want him to suffer.
I think that he kind
You
of
want him to
needs to.
suffer way
Yeah,
more.
look, he's playing. He's definitely, I think, going to end. He could end up in a very, Jesus martyry sort of situation to push his cause along. So I don't know. It could go a lot of different ways, and ultimately, it's gonna end up being up to the dice, right?
Hmm.
But I think that seeing him in a really dire situation and how he responds to that without just light and everyone going will be a big moment for him. I could
So
go I could go A or B.
should we put him in B for believing?
B for believing. I do. You know what? I do think that B is maybe a bit low. I
You
think
think so?
A. Yeah,
All right, A with
yeah.
Thimble.
I think A with Thimble. Do we want to do Cadigan or Tyranny next?
Let's do Cadigan.
Cadigan. Oh gosh, Cadigan is
So on a smash tier, he's S.
we yeah. Is there anyone in here that you wouldn't put in S for smashing?
Probably Teayor.
Really? You wouldn't put Teayor in the S?
That's a lot of hair to deal with.
Oh my
It's a
gosh.
lot of hair.
He'd be A though for sure, right?
He's at least a B.
Okay. All right. Wow. Well, a lot lower than I thought you'd put him. So Cadigan might be my favorite character. I love all of them, but especially after 7, him in Thimble and all of the like Hound stuff. I definitely argue him for like top 3. But I'm still, I think for this I feel like he might be C or B as well. Only because why exactly are you here, Cadigan?
Yeah,
Right? You showed up for like
that's
the
still
funeral. And
yeah.
since they were going north to like, I guess a kind of stomping ground that you had, like you went with them, so that makes sense. But like, and he has a connection. Obviously, he was one of these soldiers as well, right? But like, ultimately, like, why are you going to stay here with them? What's really your
Yeah.
dog in the fight? Um, we're
Ouch.
obviously learning more about him. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just a loyalty thing, but obviously he went lone wolf for a while. And so I think we still need to know a little bit more about what makes Cadigan tick. And Robbie,
Yeah.
a lot
Well, when
like,
we don't make some tick, not stealing knives
yeah,
from little dwarf
exactly.
men.
I think that Cadigan, a lot like Teayor and Travis, is definitely in like a supporting role right now, right? Because obviously we have Wick's whole thing with the light, and then we have Thimble and like the revenge thing, and they have enough connection there that they want to see justice done as well. But
Mhm.
I'm definitely excited to see, especially considering, remember, Robbie apparently wrote the most like backstory stuff, or like gave the most lore
Yes.
to Brennan. So I need to know what else is up with Cadigan that made him who he is now, And,
Yeah. And
you
his wolf
know,
was Wolf Pal. What's his name?
uh, Wolfric.
Wolfric.
I'm,
I can't believe I can remember that.
I have a theory that I've been wanting to share with you. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to wait till it becomes a little bit more relevant, maybe after the Soldier's Table leaves, but only because there's a moment in the last episode where, when talking about Wolfric, he had said he's just a wolf. He's just a dog. That made me think, like, I hope that's not true, and I don't think that it is.
It can't be.
Yeah, but for me, as much as I love him as a character, and I think that Robbie is doing a fantastic, super entertaining job of playing him, I do think that he's a C.
Oh.
Yeah, where would you put him based on all of that?
Um, I thought maybe a B. He really came through in like the last couple of episodes, but he is another like Wicander. It's like, what do you want?
Yeah. I could be
Which,
argued for either. If you want B, I could put him in B. We can put him in a B.
hmm. All right.
And then finally, Tyranny. Tyranny.
Tyranny. Tyranny.
This is tough. I
S.
I I
S tier for me.
um I mean, she is, again, one of my favorites, and I could definitely see her in S. There's a lot of intrigue there. She works well with a lot of different people. She's shown us a lot of different sides and a lot of different facets of her. I think that in from episode 1, I think a lot of people expected her to just sort of be this one note chaos gremlin, but there
Yeah.
is a lot
Depth.
more depth there that we got to see really early on. The way that she
Hmm.
shifts when her sisters show up. The way that she was in that scene where she revealed that she took the knife, and like the interactions with
Yeah,
Cadigan.
that really got to me. Her and Cadigan not letting her speak, and it's like maybe that's like me and my trauma, but
No.
like their argument sequence, I felt so bad for her, even though I
Mm-hmm.
know she's a demon and she couldn't help herself, but she's struggling. And that's why I'm like, she's just playing both, like character wise, story wise, and then we know what her character like wants. Like she
Mm-hmm.
wants to be free. She wants to be with the people.
She wants to be loved, which she
Yeah,
doesn't think. There's been 2, maybe 3 times where offhandedly, when talking about somebody else or talking about like love or whatever, she's kind of thrown in this comment that's like, you know, and I'm a demon, so like that'll never be for me, or like I'm not capable of that, or I can't be saved. That nobody else mentions or like points out. It's just sort of like this get like, oh yeah, you're a demon, of course you're fucked. Um,
mhm.
that every time I hear it is just kind of like a little heartbreaking. And you could argue, like, someone could come in and be like, how do you put Tyranny so high when you're like, oh, where does she fit into the story? For the other characters, like that's why you're kind of pegging them down a little bit. But she's higher when like all her thing is that she's just like bound to Wick, right? Which isn't necessarily a wrong criticism, but I don't know. Yeah, for me, I
We
feel
can
like,
see we can see beyond Wick, though.
yeah.
I think that's part of the thing. Like we can see who she can be
Mm-hmm.
without him.
Yeah. Now, would she stay with the group if suddenly her contract was like fulfilled and she didn't have to go back to the Hells? Maybe, maybe not. But I guess until that happens, it's not really something we know. But like, she is in the place where she's supposed to be. We understand why she's there. We
Mhm.
understand what she wants and sort of what her goals are. And I think maybe the reason that I'm so intrigued by Tyranny, and why of all of them I would put her in S right now, is because even if she gets what she wants, she could go in so many different directions with it, and I'm really
Mhm.
excited to see what those might be and where those might go. So I don't know if you were just joking when you said S, thinking that I would then
I
talk you
was
down
not
from it,
joking.
but I think I agree. I think I agree. The The scene with Wick's fanboy, in like that little church,
Yeah,
it's I think one of the things that I love
the
about
acolyte.
it
Yeah.
is I'm still sometimes on the fence when she's doing the whole Candescent Creed thing, because I don't think that she believes in the Candescent Creed, but I think she believes in Wick and what Wick
Mhm.
believes in, which is kind of the Candescent Creed. So it's really weird because sometimes when she's reciting it, it's like I can't tell if she's doing it in a satirical way or if she's doing it in a serious
I
way.
mean,
And I think,
that's a funny thing about religion, isn't it?
yeah, and I think maybe even she maybe isn't sure either. Oh, Whitney and Tyranny's so good. So good. Well, getting through those 5 already took us almost 20 minutes. We were going to go ahead and do all of them, but I think that we're going to wait and
Mhm.
we'll revisit the others either as their tables happen or if we have another off week somewhere with a lot of the holidays coming up. But we would love to know what all of you think. Let us know in the comments where your tier list would be, what you thought of our opinions, and why you think we're wrong. Keep it civil.
And a smash, we need a smash list too. So
We already know what your smash list would be, all S's in a.
I want their
Oh, you want
smash.
their smash lists. Well, if I know anything about the type of people who make smash lists, they're probably going to be similar, except where you put Teayor in like a B, there's definitely
There,
people out
he's
there that will
us.
put him in like SS. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's going to be all for us, though, for this week. We look forward to chatting with all of you about what I think will be the final session of the Soldiers Table in episode 8. We'll see you back here next time. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.